Okay, so if you're interested, here's what I've done to my mn45. First, I chopped the bed off. I used a heat gun to soften this up and bend it around the corner. Made a custom flatbed. Did some weathering on the rest of the body. Painted this one door primer gray. Did some rusting with the metal effects kit. But then the meat of it, also I used magnets to hold it in place. Magnet. And then I wanted to stretch the wheelbase lengthwise. And I wanted to use 110 shocks for better articulation. And that was a giant pain in the butt. One sec. And I initially had this thought of seeing how far I could go with plastic gears in the diff. But then I saw, for a very short time on Amazon, the all-metal axles kit for $6. Obviously, that sale has long expired. And then that's what led me down this rabbit hole of upgrading. So then I bought some 1.9 plastic wheels because I loved these mudslinger tires. I tried to find the smallest 1/10 scale tire I could. And to get them on, I did the Tom Lee RC trick of taking a plastic hub, heating up a 5mm Allen wrench and pushing it through the center. But then I wanted it to be wider, so I glued on this metal 12mm hex spacer. So here's what I've got is custom metal drive shafts because I made this thing longer, which that was a pain in the butt too. Metal links on the bottom, plastic links on the top. That I don't even know why. This is just a mix mash of parts. Plastic links from a Fay truck, which were just a little bit too long. Again, stretched this wheelbase longer than I wanted. That's these guys, these lower links. And then custom threaded rod with ball joints for the upper links on the rear. If we can get some light. These guys, come on fingers, these guys. And like I said, I bought that all metal axle kit, so this is metal gears on the inside. I kind of wonder how long plastic diff gears would survive. Metal drive shafts. My second metal single speed, because the first one, the top gear, the one that connects to the reducer, I don't know, sucked. Kept coming loose. And so I'll use that gearbox in a different project. Metal front, metal links, custom metal, or not metal, custom full-size servo mount right here. 30 amp ESC. It goes to a fly ski receiver tucked behind here. In order to tuck the 110 shocks on the front, I kind of had to make my own kind of metal brackets. These guys. Antenna. These guys. And then I drilled several different holes trying to find just the right spot to get these guys up high. But here's what I discovered. Stuffing these giant shocks in there. It articulates, let's pause it, put the tire on and I'll show you. So it articulates really well on the table here. And you think, oh man, this thing is gonna go everywhere. Like, watch, we'll lift the front. And that's pretty good. What do we got going on here? Pretty good. Doesn't rub on the fender. Doesn't rub back here. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it looks great on the table. But then you get it out there and I don't know what the hell happens. I don't know if it's the torque from the drivetrain. But it doesn't. And the rear is even more flexible because those shocks are at, I don't know, 40-degree angle instead of an 80-degree angle. And the rear links are longer, so it's just leverage, more articulation, and all that weight's up front. So I mean the rear does what? Still going. Oh, it's lifting the rear tire, the rear other tire. I don't know, you get it out there and it just doesn't climb like you think it would. So this is technically the second truck. The first truck, oh, and I don't know, love these 1/10 oil-filled shocks. The first truck I built, kept it a little simpler. I did something cool. I used a knife to cut this. If you use a Dremel, it kind of destroys it. Cut this, took a spring, put it in there. We got our battery. Took the tires, cut every other nub off. I think it really made a difference. And this was the 372 speed. But then I probably didn't know what I was doing. I think this motor was supposed to be flipped the other way around with more weight in the front. And I also didn't know how to set the servo, which moves this thing in and out to change the gear. So burned up 2 servos, got mad, cut the servo off. Let's pause, we'll take the body off. Okay, body off. So I didn't know how to adjust the servo that would go here and move the gears in and out. I bet that's why I burned up 2 servos. But I like this truck. It's simple. It does not have oil-filled shocks. Those are coming. And again, these tires just look badass now. But no oil-filled shocks. Well, that wasn't bad. That was kind of bouncy. And so 370 gears. Jammed this thing into low gear. I think I zip tied it or glued it. 20 amp ESC. Put the ESC back here. It's so flat. Didn't know what I was doing with wiring. Used all kinds of different connections. Got my switch right here. That should have made a sound. Uh-oh. And then squeezed in a WPL tiny servo. Not the same size as the gear change one, but I guess you can't see it unless I take this top off. So, metal drive shafts. I did actually break a plastic drive shaft. So what upgrades are needed? Absolutely needed. Okay. God, I don't know. Don't do 1/10 shocks like this guy. Instead, the third truck I built, I now am taking to round 2, has actually 1/18 scale oil-filled shocks. And it has a 2-speed that I did the right way, or it did, until I bought a cheap kind of Hobby Wing knockoff ESC. This is a real Hobby Wing 1040 ESC. Don't buy the knockoff ESCs, because all I did was just, as soon as you turn it on, full throttle while the servo is trying to switch gears. So I broke my low gears on my second 2-speed. So I got metal gears coming for this guy. So back to the question, what's needed? The 2-speed is awesome. 2-speed, you're going to need the metal drive shafts. I think I actually have 3 different kinds of drive shafts throughout everything. These provide the best articulation because it's 2 CV joints, 1 at each end. They're not as cool as some of the other ones. This one uses the D style. Like you can see it on the tube. This is part of the drive shaft here. It's a D. These look cool when you actually have everything mounted up. They're clean. Metal drive shafts, $10. 2-speed WPL transmission. When you set it up the right way, I think they're $20. And then this thing, I think it performs so much better. Now this is, $350 on eBay with your 3 or 4 weeks shipping from China, and this thing was on Amazon for $21. I have a feeling this ESC is going to make a world difference. I was running one of these ESCs on here, but then once I tore it all apart and bought metal gears to upgrade this thing round 2, I said, why not go all the way? And I might even try and stuff this Tamiya 380 motor into this guy. It's a little bit bigger diameter, but it looks like the shaft is the same size on both of these, so the pinion gear will swap. But let's see what's needed. God, I would say that quick run ESC, the 2-speed transmission is super cool. The oil-filled shocks, the metal drive shafts, and then I don't know. Just like on my real trucks, I like bigger tires. So I think these 1/10 scale tires, the smallest I can find are these guys, 90 millimeters. Nope, let's turn the flash on. Let's take this guy off so you can get a good look at what these tires are. These are like highway tires almost. I'm tempted to cut every other nub off, but I think truck to truck, I think the 1/10 tires look awesome. But then honestly, this truck, this orange truck, I think goes almost everywhere that truck goes. Now I think this guy is going to be an even better performer when those metal gears for the 2-speed come. And of course it's not quite sitting right. Boom. It'll sit something like that. Yeah, those tires do look a little big, but they work phenomenal. So here's what I think you need. Metal drive shafts, 372 speed, and a good ESC. And then you can take these $40 to $60 crawlers and do something cool with them. I mean, this guy comes with metal gears in the diff. This guy came with plastic gears in the diff. That's what I would do. This guy. mn99s. Digital electronics. If you're going to run 1/10 tires, you need a full-size servo. If you're going to stick with the stock tires, you can keep the original servo. I had the original servo in here, and when you would be trying to crawl and like trying to turn left, and the tires were, let's just say there was a big delay, it didn't have enough power, so not until you were moving forward could it actually turn the tires. Do it again? I don't know, maybe I would go with these guys. Once I cut these tires, they worked so awesome. All right, that's it. Peace.